What's going on? It's Cop Pizzle. Well, the 2021 New York Giants season was clearly not a success. And it really sucked. And as of now, of the making of this video, Dave Gettleman has retired. Joe Judge, at the moment, has been retained as the head coach of the New York Football Giants. I can tell you this, as a fan, and of course there's a lot of geeks out there who are content creators who have forgotten that that's all they are, is they're a fan, right? Regardless if some media company pays you to make your fucking bullshit content here on YouTube, you're just a fan, okay? Bottom line. I don't think I've ever been more feeling of rock bottom than I am right now as a New York Giants fan. This feels like the lowest I can ever go. It feels like the lowest I've ever been. And I'm desperate for the Giants to be a good football team again. There's no question about that. I'm super desperate. Changes needed to be made. And, you know, with Dave Gettleman, I just want to say this, because a lot of idiots have already made their points and they're just jerking off to every move that Dave Gettleman made. And then here's the thing, guys. Like, I get so annoyed at content creators because all they do is, when a guy like Dave Gettleman gets fired and then they just go around pinpointing his mistakes and what he did wrong, all they're doing is trying to put themselves over as somebody who's smart, witty, actually knows what the fuck they talking about. But the reality is they got a bad fucking haircut and they're living with their fucking mama. Okay? That's the reality of the situation. Okay? Yeah, Dave Gettleman failed. But also Dave Gettleman there were some unlucky moments for Dave Gettleman. And life isn't fair. There's going to be times when you're going to get shit luck in life. And that doesn't mean that you use it as an excuse, but the reality is just life isn't fair sometimes. And you can pinpoint all these decisions Dave Gettleman made. Look, is it easy to go back and look in 2018 and say Saquon Barkley wasn't the right pick? Sure! Okay, cool, Monday morning quarterback, Quentin Nelson, okay, whatever. But, again, do you have the balls? Would you have had the balls during that time period to pass on Saquon? Ask yourself that question. If you did, okay, great. No one knows for sure, but whatever. To me, Dave Gettleman's time with the Giants ultimately failed because of Daniel Jones. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say that all these roster moves. Look, I didn't like Alec Ogletree. There was a lot of other things I didn't like. But this team a year ago in 2020 was starting to hit somewhat of a stride. Things were going good. I don't know if some of you guys remember this, but we were going on a run. And then Daniel Jones got hurt. If Daniel Jones doesn't get hurt, the New York Giants make the playoffs last year. Now, granted, the following week after Daniel got hurt, Colt McCoy goes in, and then they obviously win a game in Seattle. But after that, the last month of the season was a total collapse. And it's because Daniel Jones wasn't in there. Fast forward to 2021. I'm not saying things were going great up until the point that Daniel Jones got hurt, but Daniel Jones gets hurt again. Season completely collapses. Once again. The reality is the quarterback that he drafted wasn't able to stay healthy, wasn't able to stay in the games, wasn't able to help his team win. And look, there's a lot of quarterbacks that are young right now that are out here leading teams to successful seasons. Josh Allen, right? I know that he missed the playoffs last night. Justin Herbert. Joe Burrow. There's a lot of young cats out here in the league. Kyler Murray. that's out here helping their teams achieve great things. And they may be a Band-Aid over bad things on those teams. Like, I don't think the Buffalo Bills are all that great of a team. I really don't. But they got a great quarterback in Josh Allen. And the reality is the Giants were not good enough to lose their quarterback at any point in any of these seasons. And so, I've always believed that if the Daniel Jones ship sank, Dave Gettleman's ship would sink as well. And so, I'm not going to sit here and be hard on Dave and, be like these geeks where it's like I told you so, or act like I would have done a better job than him. Like these guys are fucking losers. They're lame. They're just so pathetic. I just feel that I can be upset. I'm not saying you can't be upset with Dave Gettleman. Absolutely, I'm upset with Dave Gettleman. You can absolutely be that way, but to sit here and make these 10-minute videos and ranting and raving about how you did this wrong, you did that wrong, like, get over yourself. Like, just get over yourself, man. Like, go make your mom a sandwich. I mean, it's ridiculous. But, nevertheless, the Giants are going to move on and find another general manager who will hopefully bring in some new opinions. And as far as, the 2021 season, look, this isn't an excuse, but the Giants just suffered too many injuries this year for anything good to happen. We couldn't afford to lose Blake Martinez. We really couldn't. We couldn't afford to have the offensive line get beat up the way it did. We didn't need to lose Nick Gates. And, if there's one thing that Dave Gettleman didn't do is there wasn't enough depth on that offensive line to make anything happen this year. We didn't need to lose Saquon Barkley last year, which was another thing that was unlucky for Dave Gettleman, is that you lost Saquon Barkley for pretty much all of 2020 season, and he's came back in 2021, and he hasn't been the same player. Hasn't been the same player at all. So, there's a lot of you are going to say a lot of shit, but again, there's just some unlucky things that happened to the Giants. As far as Joe Judge goes, I don't think it seems like he is going to be retained. I think the Giants are going to make give him one more season. I disagree with that, but at the same time, like, I understand the reason for trying to keep him. To get a look at him with another general manager and just to make sure and see. Does it make him a lame duck coach? Potentially. Absolutely. And so that's a little worrisome. Does it make potentially Daniel Jones a lame duck quarterback? Absolutely. I mean, you're talking about if these guys are going to be retained, I mean, Joe Judge and Daniel Jones both are they're at the end of their rope. I mean, it's this is it for them. And so if you're a guy like John Mara who thinks like, I've got a good coach here, I just need to see what he can do with a different general manager, I can see the reasoning behind that. And Giant fans need to just calm down as best we can. Because here's what I will say. I want to debunk something that I've heard a lot of crap about. I don't think that a general manager or someone who could potentially be a general manager looks at a team like the Giants and sees Joe Judge as the head coach and is not have a desirable feeling to be the general manager for this team. I don't think that Joe Judge pushes general managers away from being a part of this organization. There's no question that if you sit down and you talk to Joe, you may have a difference of opinion of how teams are supposed to be put together or operated or whatever. But the fact that a general manager might say, I'm not interested in being with him, I think is silly. I don't know how anybody can come to that conclusion. I think anybody would. I think the New York Giants is a desirable job on any level. I believe that. I mean, I think, look, we've been terrible the last 5, 6 years. We've been awful. But I still think we're an organization that coaches and office people, they want to be a part of this. So I don't think the Giants have lost that just yet. At the end of the day, we're still an organization that's won 4 Super Bowls. That means something. That's not like an organization who's never, ever got over the hurdle. So, frustrating times, and it's going to be a wild off season. I need to say this before I go. I'm a Giants fan, and I've made that myself very clear. But as many of you know, I lost a bet to Mark Holmes, where I have to stream Cowboy playoff games. Okay? I'm doing this because, number one, I lost a bet. But number two, and I'm not a bet welcher. Like, I can't stand when people say, I've never bet welched on any bets ever here on YouTube. I want you guys to understand that for all you out there that are going to question what I'm about to do and how I'm about to take this channel, save all the Timmy Tough Nut shit, okay? I don't. If you got something against me for rooting on the Dallas Cowboys or whatever, there's a rhyme. There's a rhyme and reason why I do everything that I do on YouTube, okay? And if you don't get it, then just keep your mouth shut. Simple as that. But I have to do something, and it's going to be, to me, I'm going to make it as fun as I possibly can. And so, once I get over this hurdle, we'll get back to making New York Giant videos. But for now, I have to live up to my bet. I have to keep my word on it. And I need you guys to just understand that I never thought I'd be ever in this position to do something stupid like this. But I put myself in this position, and I'm going to keep my word. And I always will love the New York Football Giants. And it just is what it is. Okay? So just enjoy the content, have a good time with it, laugh at it, and we'll go from there. Stop being like these other dumbass content creators where you think you know what the hell you're fucking talking about all the time. It's lame. It's gross. It's stupid. Don't take yourself so serious all the damn time. Anyways, here goes nothing.